Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm, of course, your host, Mega Mike the Movie Man. We have a super fun stream planned for you all tonight. We are talking our favorite comedy props in movies. So this is going to be a fun way to, share some of our favorite comedy movies out there. We'll go through 5 rounds of this, working our way up to our favorite, of course. And then we'll also have some honorable mentions at the end. So stick around through all of that good stuff. Now, I'm not alone tonight. I have this amazing panel I'm going to bring out in a little bit. We'll introduce one by one. But first, just let me remind you of a couple things. If you love movies, go ahead and American Pie that like and subscribe, whatever that means to you, to support the channel. If you would like a comment read live, go ahead and Proton Pack blast us with some super chats. And then if you would like to help choose some future topics, maybe there's a franchise you want us to talk about or a favorite movie or set of movies, you guys can consider some memberships. The highest tier membership gets a movie choice of a stream a month. So definitely consider that. And also some other cool perks in there as well. But let's go ahead and bring out this amazing panel. Some people that love comedy movies. First up, we got Fish. How we doing out there, Fish?
I'm good, Mike. How are you doing?
You're
Sorry,
already laughing. Did I get you laughing?
I'm still trying to compose myself from that American Pie, that like button. It's
You
like,
know,
oh my God.
that's what I thought of. I'm like, you know what? Does this work? Maybe. Did it
Hey,
work,
you know
Fish?
what?
Did it sound good?
Right? Basically, it's pound that like button, right?
There you go. And and we'll talk about it later, because there's different, there's the unrated edition, so there's a different approach there. I mean, the end result's pretty much the same, but we'll get to talking about that later.
I want to stealing my thunder, but I had to get myself together for after that. So yes, thank you. Hi everyone. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, man, and it's been a long minute since I've seen you, Fish. So, welcome back to the channel, of course.
Thank you very
And
much.
just a kind of a intro here. What makes you love comedy movies, and how'd you go about picking these comedy props tonight? Was it easy? Were you on it right away, or did you have to put some good thought into this one?
I actually had to put some thought into it. I love comedies. You and I had a little brief conversation before the stream started. That comedies, if you're in a bad mood or if you're not feeling the greatest, you can always throw a comedy on, and you really don't have to think about them too much. You just put them in and let them go and let them entertain you, and hopefully pull you out of your funk or whatever, and just put you in a better mood. So that's why I love comedies. And when it came to my list, I it wasn't coming to me automatically. So I had to Google it. And then I was like, well, once I saw one, I was like, okay, yeah. Now, and then it started clicking. And I was like, okay, yeah. So, and then the list just started coming out, and then, yeah. So it took me a little bit to get the gears going, but once they started going, it was fun time picking this out. So thank you very much for having me.
Of course, yeah. I was hoping everybody would understand like comedy props. Hopefully, everybody gets it. But I know it's my only second time doing this type of stream. We've done best horror props in October, but it's been some time since then. So I'm like, hey, let's try with some comedy. Let's see how that changes things up. So you got to eventually. So that's all that matters. And of course, let's bring out this other amazing panel member, somebody that I know loves the laugh, that is ready to laugh tonight. Vin, you just look like you're laughing already.
Well, not quite to the extent Fish was, but I'm ready to go.
See, you were with the American Pie right away. You're like, I got it,
Yes. Always love a good intro.
So, what made you a comedy movie fan, and then how'd you go about your approach for choosing tonight?
What made me a comedy movie fan was just growing up being those prime middle school years where you're just a moron. And you just, me and my friends used to rewatch. Whenever I had friends over, all we did was watch comedy. All we did was watch raunchy comedies, Adam Sandler films, Chris Farley films on repeat, time and time again. So a lot of these films from, the late 90s, primarily, I've seen them ad nauseum so many times. So that kind of ingrained my love for comedy at an early age. And I'm hoping comedy makes a resurgence because we really don't get great comedies anymore, in my opinion, quite frankly. So it's fun. It's going to be fun tonight to talk about some of those comedies that we loved when we were growing up, because I think we're all kind of somewhat in the same age range, in the same boat, where we have these icons of comedy that put out so many great films. So it'll be fun to kind of dig into that. And as far as picking props, it's something I never really thought of when you first approached me with it. But once you did, I had a couple that popped in my mind right away. And then kind of like Fish, I Googled it and I looked at my own movie collection and thought about what props were in there and came up with some good ones, hopefully. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited to see yours tonight, and of course everybody else's as well. And man, you just kind of hit the nail on the head with where are the comedies at? I mean, forget about great comedy. I just want them to try. Like at least give us some comedies within a year. I feel like I look at my movie list and I'm like, okay, I've seen, hundreds and hundreds of movies this year at the theaters. All right, what was a comedy? And I can probably count like maybe 5 at the most. And that's not even saying they were great. That's just them trying a comedy. Probably half of those were rom-coms.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
good raunchy comedy in there. It's so tough.
Comedies anymore. You're not allowed to.
It's tough, but we'll bring the comedies back, just like we brought Cool Kid Johnny back. How we doing out there, Johnny?
Hey, what's up, cool kid? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back on, Mike.
Of course. And so what made you a comedy movie fan, Johnny, and how'd you approach tonight?
I have to lay the blame solely at my dad's feet growing up, because I grew up, in the early 80s to the mid 90s. So I had, Eddie Murphy, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Rick Moranis, Steve Martin. That's pretty much what we watched when I was growing up, was comedies. I really didn't get into horror and action until I started hanging out with my friends and stuff. But yeah, it was whatever Dad brought home. It was usually a comedy, so I got immediately hooked into that, and it's just, I love it. And when you said props, I had 2 right off the top of my head. I said, all right, those are going to be in there. And like Vin and Fish, I'm like, okay, now what else do I have to look up now? Is this a prop? Would I consider this? So I had like 15 total, and I'm like, no, I got to cross this one off, cross this one off, cross this one off, to whittle it down to whatever I had. And yeah, to echo Vin, yeah, it's, I think maybe the last great comedy that we had was The Hangover, maybe.
Man, and that was so long ago, feels like.
We can't,
Was that
people
a
get
decade ago?
they get offended so easily, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we can't do that anymore. And it just sucks now that we don't have comedies like that anymore.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, Fish, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say a recent one that I really didn't mind was No Hard Feelings. They kind of
That was
they kind of pushed a little bit there. So I mean, I give an A for effort on that one. Definitely trying to grab onto the old raunchy reins there.
Another decent rom-com was Anyone But You. I don't know if any of you all saw that. That was decent for a rom-com. So there's little glimpses of hope out there, but we need more. We need more quantity. But it gives me a chance now, at least, to go back now and see all these great comedies I missed out on, because I was really, just as a teenager, familiar with the 2000s stuff, late 90s, right? American Pie, that type of stuff. So now I've been able to go back and see some of the classics like Private School and all those. So I'm still discovering. So I know Private School is so good. Phoebe Cates, you can't go wrong. But now I get to discover right, Porky's and all this greatness.
Yeah.
Wow, man, these comments are going off tonight. Oh my goodness, this is amazing right here. I'm a little in shock just because I'm so grateful for this, but we got to shout out an amazing comedy movie fan and just a great person all around in this community. Tiana Loves Movies, who is a new YouTube member. So that is amazing, Tiana. I'm so appreciative of that. I mean, we gotta play at least a little clip right here.
Thanks for doing this. It really means a whole lot.
Hopefully that will be actually a funny comedy. That one looks pretty good. So, Ryan Reynolds is, I like his movies. So we'll see how that one turns out. But yeah, Tiana, thank you so much for becoming a new member. So yeah, that is exciting. That's awesome. Let's see who else. We got to celebrate. Let's just go over everybody's comments and celebration of this. We got Huck in the chat, a Collector Club member, saying, comedy props. Can't wait to see what this great panel has to offer. Hopefully we don't disappoint you, Huck. Got Wilkie's Movies and Music. Got Adrian out there. We got Holland Oates. Hey, Holland, how you doing? Let's see. we got Hisham in here. What's up, everyone? Speaking about a comedy movie, what comedy movie not make you laugh? See, that's what I have to think about. I can think of the ones that make me laugh, but one that didn't make me laugh, I don't know. Oh, that is so tough. I don't know. Does anybody have one that pops in the mind real quick? I can't even think of one because I'm like, I don't want to relive the bad memories.
I've got several, but it's like I saw it when I first watched it. I was like, "What is this?" And then the second time I watched it, I kind of laughed a little bit. But now I just it's super bad. But I just have this hate. I cannot stand Jonah Hill. So
for Super Bad, oh my, I love Super Bad. I have it in my Blu-ray pile, I think, over here, and that's like Tiana's favorite movie. So I love Super Bad. Yeah, now you're gonna hear it. Yeah, I like that one actually. Yeah, and it's so funny. Like comedy is so subjective too. I mean, all movies are, of course. So it's like, it just depends what your taste is. A recent one I saw that I'm like, I laughed, but I didn't feel good about it. Was Strays, that dog talking one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one I'm like, I laughed a little bit, but I didn't feel good about it. Such an amazing comments here tonight. Look at Basement Blues, Uncle Tony. How you doing out there? Uncle we even got Laren in the chat. Oh my goodness, this is funny here today. Laren, nice. Let's see. Craig saying those comedians can't do the same kind of comedy. Every group gets offended. Have to be inventive like comedies in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. See, I need to go back to those classic ones. That's definitely a blind spot for me. But there's a lot of good ones out there for sure. Let's see. Yeah, Tiana's like, Johnny, what'd you just say? All right. So let's get into our first round here. We're going to start with our 5th favorite comedy prop and then work our way up to number 1, of course. So starting at number 5, Fish. What are you thinking with this one?
This one, okay, so I gave this a rewatch the other night, and it's still just as funny as the first time I watched it. And this movie would not be this movie without this prop. It's surrounded all by it. So it's Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller and crew and Dodgeball. Without the Dodgeball, you don't have a movie, right? So yes, let's give it up for the Dodgeball. I really enjoyed this movie. This movie was a lot of fun. Like I said, I gave it a rewatch. I almost picked the wrench, but I went with the ball instead. So
you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly. So yeah, I picked this one. Like I said, I forgot how douchey Ben Stiller was, but it was a great time. Christine Taylor, I think she's fantastic. I wish she would do more. But yeah, Justin Long, Alan Tudyk as the pirate. It's got a great cast, and this movie is really, really a lot of fun. So
yeah, Ben Stiller did a lot of roles like in that time period where he was just a super douche. I wish he would do another like something else. Like he's kind of like he's too mature for that now. He's like doing other stuff. But I want him to go back and give me 1 or 2 more roles like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Dodgeball is such a great movie too. It's not even just great as a comedy, of course, it's super funny, but it's a really good story too. It's an underdog, like inspirational sports story. A lot of the characters have great arcs in there. Like you said, Steve the Pirate, he has a cool little arc in that by the end. So I'm like, oh my, this gets you with some emotions along with all the laughter. That's what I loved about it. So good. I love the Dodgeball. It's like you would think, oh yeah, the Cobras, purple Cobras. Well, and he's naming their names like Blazer, Laser, like what is that? That was a good one. And Vince Vaughn, I think is so hilarious. Like Vince Vaughn is totally one of my comedic actor go-tos. Oh, that was a great choice right there. Good one, Fish. I wasn't even thinking like Dodgeball, you know, the name of the movie, but the Dodgeball. Hey, that is a folk. They use a lot of dodgeballs in there. So,
yep.
All right, Vin, what are you thinking?
So for number 5, when you first approached me about the stream, for some reason, for better or worse, this was the first prop that popped into my mind, and it's probably because I was obsessed with this movie for a couple years. It's Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, and is the Swedish-made penis enlarger pump. And the scene where he gets unfrozen, he gets unthawed, and he's trying to make a good impression on Veronica. Is it Veronica? Is that her name? No, Mrs.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
There.
And he's like, "Oh, that's not mine." And then the guy continues to call out, "Here's a receipt. Here's a warranty card. Here's a book you wrote about how much bag."
He's like, I swear it's not mine. It's not all wrong.
At the end of this scene, he's like, "All right, I'll sign the forms just to keep things moving." But, I thought that's a very unique, very raunchy prop that always kind of, I guess it stuck with me apparently. So.
Oh yeah, no, that one's fantastic. That one's
At
awesome.
the end where
That scene is so good.
Where he puts it on random task and he's like, "It's not mine."
He's getting choked against the wall, and
Yep.
honestly, it's not mine.
No, yes, absolutely. I love the fact that it pops back up again. Of course, the words there, but
Yeah. We definitely need another type of Austin Powers movie. I thought they were going to continue the franchise too, because of how Goldmember ends with the kid. I thought they were going to continue that. I was so disappointed when we didn't get another sequel. But all three of those movies are great, hilarious, so funny. Yeah, man, we haven't seen like Mike Myers and something in a while, have we? I don't remember his last movie.
nothing where he was actually. I mean, like, no.
I know he tried to do that one show that totally tanked on streaming, right? The Averant, right?
Yeah.
With from the American Axe Murderer.
It sounds like it's way too old. But was the last movie he was in Inglourious Bastards?
And Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see Mike Myers come back and do some stuff because when he was on it, and it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, just the
Love
name.
Guru. Ugh.
Oh, I
Oh
mean,
gosh. I don't even think I saw that one. I just heard terrible things. I'm like, can't do it.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
racking my brain trying to find a Wayne's World prop just because those movies are so fantastic. But spoiler, I couldn't find a good prop from those films. Maybe you guys did, but I mean, when he was on in the '90s, I mean, he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Wayne's World was so good. So many cameos in that movie too. Just references to other movies. I can't think of anything. I mean, maybe the Wayne's World hat, but that's about it.
The Mirth Mobile, maybe.
Yeah.
Good choice. All right, Johnny, what are you thinking?
All right, my number 5 is the Rachel Phelps cutout standee from the movie Major League. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's about this, the Cleveland Indians are so bad that this this owner bought them and he dies and his showgirl wife inherits the team. She wants the team to lose so badly so she can relocate them. And once the players find out that she wants them to lose, she starts taking away stuff for them.
One.
Like, all right.
Sorry about that. Not that one. Sorry, the pictures look so little. I think it deleted off my StreamYard. Sorry about that, Johnny. Keep talking about it.
She replaces their jet with a jet that they're literally putting together with duct tape, and she takes away all their hot water and everything. Well, word gets back to the manager and to the players that she wants them to lose on purpose so they can move. So they make this cutout of her, and for every win that the team gets, they peel off a section of the clothing. And it makes the team go on this winning streak, and they end up pulling every piece of clothing off of this standee, and she's just standing there nude saying, "You guys stink." And I thought that was one of the most hilarious moments in that movie. Yep, Fish has got it.
There you go. Okay, I was trying to find it. Let's see that.
And and it was either just watching them, peel it all off, and they're just having a good time, and they're winning at the same time. It's just great. And it came down to either the standee or the Serrano's Jobu doll. And I was like, well, I don't know. The Rachel Phelps thing is what they really rallied around through the whole movie. So I wanted to pick that one out. And that is my favorite baseball movie that I've ever seen. I love that movie.
See,
Yeah,
I
got
still
that in
need to
my
see that one.
Amazon cart on 4K.
Oh, then I guess I've ruined it for you, Mike.
That's okay. You're all good. Oh, but
Yeah,
here we
no,
go. Finally, I got the picture up there.
There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I actually, yesterday was this 35th anniversary, the day it was released 35 years ago. So I watched it yesterday. I usually try to watch this around opening day. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I love
That's
this movie as
great.
well.
Let's
It's
see that again, Johnny.
You got Serrano's locker and that little symbol that he makes with the paint with the snake in his hand.
Mm.
Yeah. And it does have the great Bob Euchre as the announcer, who stays drunk almost the entire season as he's calling baseball games.
So you guys have all seen that one. I'm like, man, I need to get on this.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have to watch that. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. It's great. It's
Yeah.
classic. I watched it over and over as a kid. It's constantly.
Yeah. The second one's decent. The third one's like, you do away with that.
I didn't even know there was a third one. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately.
So the first one for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That still looks a good price too. I've been contemplating it. I'm like, should I blind buy this? I don't know.
You know, it's
But
not
now
bad,
would be the
right? Especially
recommendation.
it's only a couple dollars more than the regular 4K. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, at that point you might as well get the Steelbook.
And you get magnets with it.
Ooh, yeah.
I do like the art on the steelbook though, with the back of his head, with the haircut and the hat on.
oh, with the regular slip, yeah,
The slip. Yeah.
Yeah, the slip actually kind of like that better.
it looks really
I know you
cool.
don't
Yeah, no,
do it.
the haircut is iconic.
Yeah. Vegematic.
Bedhead, yes.
And you'll learn it's very bad to steal Joe Boo's rum.
Man, I'm excited to watch it because I like comedies and sports movies. So a comedy sports movie, I'm all for it. See, it's like those more classic ones. I still need to see some of those. Because what year was that one?
89.
89.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's see. I guess my number 5th one here. You know what? And I did a little cheat on this one. I did a little combo pack, but it's the same movie. So in the thumbnail, I mean, you guys saw it. We had Ted here. Look at Ted from the movie Ted. Oh gosh, you gotta have it. You can't have that movie without Ted, of course.
No.
And the voice is hilarious. Like Seth MacFarlane, just that voice is. It's comedic genius. And I just love the opening scene. I had to grab this picture. It's a Christmas miracle. You're just like the baby Jesus. I just thought that was hilarious. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. But I love it because, he has a little bear and he makes the Christmas miracle wish and then it comes alive. But it's funny because then it's like, oh, okay, what is it like when they're adults now? And then they have to play off each other. And such a raunchy, foul talking bear. And I love the part where it's like, oh, you got to get a job now. Okay. And Ted's like, I don't want a job. But he goes in and he starts mouthing off the boss, right? He starts saying things.
And he gets promoted. And
It's like, yeah, I did your wife with a parsnip last week or something like that. It's like, that's guts. We need guts. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Do you see the TV show?
I haven't seen that yet. I heard it was great though. Have you guys checked that out?
It really is, but it feels, once you've seen like the first 2 Ted movies, it feels kind of weird because you didn't know like Ted had this or John had this other family. Like you see his mom and he's that, and you're like, he's never mentioned any of that in the movies. At least I don't think he did. And you're like, this is kind of weird, but it's very, very, very funny. It's really good. I like it. I think it's like 6 episodes or 8 episodes, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's an easy watch. I know. I'm still holding out on Peacock, right? It's on Peacock. I'm like, dude, I want another streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Like I drew the line at Peacock, but maybe one of these days. Oh, and then I was also going to say the Flash Gordon ray gun from Ted. Just because, it, from another amazing movie, Flash Gordon. It's hilarious. So, yeah, that's a great movie. I love Flash Gordon. So 80s cheese. It's like, oh, it's awesome.
Oh, I need to rewatch that.
Oh, it's so good. I like that one. Yeah, I was hoping Barbarella was going to be the same thing, and it was not. Flash Gordon, that's quality stuff. I tell you, that's good stuff.
I haven't watched that in so long. I have it. I own it. I haven't watched it forever.
Masters of the Universe.
Same with Ted. I haven't watched that in years. I mean, years.
Ted's an easy watch.
Yeah.
I do. One thing that I do remember, I don't know if it was Ted 1 or 2, but they actually got, oh Jesus, what's his name? Sam
Jones. I think.
Yeah, Sam Jones to come in and actually do a cameo.
Yeah,
that's
the first Ted, right?
one.
Yeah.
Okay. So
because
I knew he
destroyed John's apartment.
Mm-hmm. And he punches a hole through the wall, right?
Yeah.
Because they think somebody is Emperor Ming. Such a funny movie. The sequel I didn't really like as much. I don't really rewatch that one. That one was like the more courtroom drama stuff in there.
When they make fun of Amanda Seyfried because of her eyes and Gollum, I think that was probably the funniest scene.
Oh yeah. Oh man, look at this. So many comments tonight. Let's just jump in here real quick before we move on. We do have Tiana saying The Hangover is so good. See, I need to go back and rewatch that one. I don't even know if I saw the sequels on that. Johnny's like, no on the sequels. Oh, Huck is saying Friends with Benefits is hilarious. That's a good rom-com. I like that one. That's been a while though. Let's see. Tiana says, it's okay, Johnny. I forgive you.
I cannot stand Jonah Hill. I'm sorry.
But Tiana said that was a fun prop, Johnny. Slip is nice. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you get a really good steelbook and a slip. You're like, what do I choose? Yeah. And especially they're very similar in price. So it's like, oh my gosh. I guess not a wrong decision there. Draculina Horrors in here. I love Ted. I would kill to hang out with Seth MacFarlane. See, I like Seth MacFarlane's humor. I know some people don't. It's like you either love it or you hate it. Are you guys, Seth MacFarlane fans out there? Do you like the Family Guy stuff and all that? I love Family Guy. I think Family Guy is hilarious.
Yeah, I'll still watch it.
I even enjoyed I started watching The Orville. So I'm a big Star Wars, Star Trek fan. So I enjoyed it for what it was. A little spoof, a little comedy. So
what were you gonna say, Vin?
Oh, I just remember when Family Guy first came out. It was, me and my friends watched it, on repeat. It was so, it was that style of comedy with the small jokes, kind of the flashback jokes. It was so kind of new and different, but so funny and just so iconic. I'm not sure there's like 19, 20 some odd seasons now, right?
I don't even know. That's a lot of seasons. I haven't kept up with it.
There's a lot, and I haven't kept up on it. But I feel like I've tried to go back to it and watch some of the more real recent Family Guy, and I was kind of like, nah,
It lost its steam.
But super iconic program, and that's all because of Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, I have no. They got into it with Matt and Trey from South Park about the whole flashback, gags and stuff. They're fine. I don't understand what's Matt and Trey's problem was with it.
I think they just made a funny episode trying to spoof it. I remember that episode where they were having the manatees grab idea balls from a big water tank and just inserting them. It's brilliant to try and spoof on the competition. For my money, Seth and South Park has really held up brilliantly still.
Yeah.
That's another show with a lot of seasons. How many seasons are they on with that one now? That feels like 20 seasons.
Was it 97 when they first started? So almost
I think they're in the 30s.
Years.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. All right. So let's head into our fourth favorite comedy prop. All right, Fish, what are you thinking for number 4?
Okay. Also, without this prop, you wouldn't have this movie. So gosh, I forgot to write down what year this came out. But it is a Jim Carrey classic, and I decided to go with The Mask from The Mask. So I love this movie. I hadn't watched it in years, but I remember watching it a lot in high school when it had first come out. Um, like I said, without this prop, The Mask of Loki, um, you wouldn't have this movie. Jim Carrey plays Stanley Ipkiss. Yeah, it's a weird name. So, but Stanley Ipkiss, and he's kind of like a mild mannered guy. And then he happens upon Loki's mask and puts it on one night and turns into this crazy, outrageous, this off the wall entity. And hilarity ensues. He has more confidence. He meets Cameron Diaz. We meet Cameron Diaz in this movie, so that was really cool. I love Cameron Diaz. But he gets into it with a big mob boss, and yeah, I love the fact that the dog gets involved, puts the mask on as well.
Oh,
That
that's
was
great
awesome.
too.
That was hilarious. And then I love the fact that it kind of takes her personality and jacks it up. So when the mob boss puts it on, it like turns him into that big, just
It's all, like,
evil,
blowing
just
it
big
out.
brute, just and the hard lines and the mask and everything.
The
Yeah,
eyes,
yeah.
everything.
So yeah, I chose The Mask. I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I haven't watched it in a really long time, but I really, really loved it growing up. So yeah,
Man, talk about a 4K we need. Yes,
Oh,
let's get a 4K. So I can watch
Yes.
it
as
again.
colorful as that thing is, yeah, the costumes and everything, and yeah, it would definitely shine bright.
I don't even have that one in my collection somehow, so I'm waiting for a nice release of The Mask.
Yeah, it's like you think somebody would have done it by now. It's so popular. Like they should just have a boutique line do comedies. Why haven't they done this yet? I don't know. But The
Can't
Mask,
remember Can't even remember who released it. Was that New Line?
What's Warner Brothers? I think they
Warner?
all.
Okay.
Warner Brothers. So there's a chance Warner does some good
Anniversary
stuff once in
this
a while.
year, 30 years.
There you go.
Yeah, we've been slowly getting a lot of 80s comedy classics, like a lot of the Eddie Murphy stuff we've been getting on 4K. But the 90s, we really don't get much comedy 4K.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't even have the American Pie movies aren't even 4K, right?
Nope, nothing Chris Farley, no Adam Sandler. We got some Wayne's World.
Wayne's
but that's-
World, yeah.
That's about it.
I think, no, hold me to it. I heard a rumor that 88 Films is doing the first American Pie 4K.
Ooh. Gotta see
But
that pie.
I read that like 2 months ago, and I haven't seen anything else since then. I'm like, you need to hurry up with this.
Yeah, great prop choice with this one. And I like how when it's just like a regular like mask too, like that looks super cool. And then
Yeah.
how it morphs, it's just excellent. If only the sequel was better. I don't even think I
Yeah.
remember much from the sequel. I just remember like, nah, this is not it. This is not
I
how
never watched it. You know that? Yeah, I think they were trying to cash in on Jamie Kennedy's. You know, like what had just come out was Scream, of course, Scream 2. Malibu's Most Wanted. I think they were trying to
I
cash
love
in
that
on
movie.
kind
Oh,
of-
talk about a movie with some props. I got a game cast. A game cast? What do you mean a game? There's a GameCube and a Jimmy. I'm too poor. I can't afford it. A game cast. Oh, that movie is so funny. Malibu's Most Wanted. That needs a 4K too. Let's go. Good choice. Good choice. All right, Vin, what are you thinking?
Number 4, I'm gonna go with a prop from Office Space, and that is the red swing line stapler.
Yes.
Stipler.
It never binds, it never has problems, as Milton will tell you, and it's just a fun little kind of an Easter egg of a prop in there that it kind of sneaks its way into the film. It's not very prominent, but
Yep.
the character of Milton is very prominent and very iconic. And spoilers, very old film, I think 1999, if I'm not mistaken. He's the one who essentially burns the building down, and it's all because of that stapler. That stapler was one of the last straws. They sent him to the basement. They had him spray for bugs. And then when Lumberg takes that stapler out of his hands and he resists for a second, he wants to hold on to that stapler and he rips it out of his hands. And then he says, "They set the building on fire." I love Office Space. I think it's well known, but almost not enough. It's such a funny film, and I love the character of Milton and the swingline stapler, red swingline stapler, can't be denied. So
No,
there we go.
Man, Milton is such a great character, and I think that was the original, right? Because what the writer did short stories of Milton, right? Like a comic, and then turned it into the movie, right?
Yeah,
something like that. So yeah, you need Milton, you need the stapler, and it's like Office Space just gets funnier and funnier as I get older. Like when you've been in these types of work environments, you can just relate to it, and you're like, that's the last thing I have. Don't take my last thing. And sometimes that happens. You're like, what the heck?
I almost wanted to go with the copy machine because that scene is so great. They take that copy machine onto his field and they just beat the hell out of it. And then the one guy's punching it with his bare fists and had to be pulled away because they hate the copy machine so much.
And you see him dragging pieces of it with them as they're walking away.
Yeah, the wires. Every character is so well fleshed out. The main guy Peter, who just hates his job, and even the love angle with Jennifer Aniston is kind of really fun. Even though it's kind of a sidebar, but it's really well done. How they love to watch kung fu, and his neighbor is so funny with the mullet.
Yeah,
such a good movie. If anyone has not seen Office Space in the chat after the stream, find it and watch it.
And the perfect time too to watch it, I gotta say, that's like if you're not feeling good, you're staying home from work, watch Office Space. That is just a perfect day right there. Where you're just not feeling it, you want something to laugh.
The breast exam's on.
Damn it, Lawrence, can you pretend we can't hear each other through the wall?
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a good one. And the story is good in that too. Like even take away the comedy, just the story of what Peter goes through and like finding
Yep, and the scheme, how the whole scheme gets blown up just because of that one decimal point error.
Oh, good choice. All right, Johnny, what are you thinking?
All right, for my number 4, everybody has seen this movie, so you know what I'm going to mention, but it's Kevin McAllister and his pellet gun from Home Alone. I think this is one of the best props in that movie because it inflicts the most damage, and if you've ever been shot with a pellet gun, you know what I'm talking about. This thing hurts, and the way he just gleefully smiles as he shoots Daniel Stern in the forehead and Joe Pesci right in the tool bag. I think you could really kill someone with one of those. All of the other stuff that he has in his house, you could just injure, but you could really kill someone with that. And I remember when that scene came on and when I saw it in the theaters, that just everybody went nuts, especially watching Joe Pesci, this tough guy, getting shot right in the groin with a pellet gun and just, and you see the air coming out of the barrel of the gun as soon as he shoots him, the air that comes out of a pellet gun. I thought that was one of the best props, one of the best weapons that Kevin had in that movie. Better than the paint cans that he had and everything.
Those are great too, though. I love the paint cans.
It's funny when I think of that pellet gun, though. I first think about the scene where he's targeting his action figures. I love that.
Man, the bandits in the movie just take so much damage. I always think about it. It's like it's a family comedy, but like what they're doing they're bandits, so I get it. But it's like they would not live through this. Fish, what were you thinking?
I love the fact that Daniel Stern sticks his head in there and he's just propped up. He's like, "Hello." Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Good movie. It's like all-time Christmas classic, and I love the sequel. I'm one of those people that actually like the sequel a little bit more than the first one. Oh, sequel's so good too.
Yeah.
I know I'm like the only one that I think that.
I was going to say not bad. I mean, I enjoyed the location change, but I mean, it's to me the story was pretty much a repeat. You know, it's like
Yeah, he just got new toys to play with.
right. He's like even the bird lady side character was pretty much kind of like the same
Yeah.
thing as that
Oh,
or the
Flipping up
old
the
man
shovel
neighbor.
version.
Don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing, you know. So
Oh yeah, it absolutely is the same story. 100% agreed. So when I see a movie like that, I'm like, but what was my favorite story between the two different editions of it? I just love the New York setting, the Duncan's toy chest. Like that's cool to me.
But I agree with you, Mike, where like a lot of times a sequel might just retread the original, but Home Alone 2 is fantastic. And it might not, I don't like it quite as much as the original, but I really enjoy that movie as well. It's not a big drop off for me. And for a movie that kind of retreads, like some of us have said, I think it does a great job.
Yeah, it's that one's also written by John Hughes, I believe. And you know, anything John Hughes writes is golden to me. So oh, Johnny said no, not a John Hughes fan over there.
After watching Dial Code Santa Claus, I could see where he got the idea for Home Alone. That's
All right.
one of my many gripes about John Hughes, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie yet, so I'll have to check it out. Before we get to my prop, I gotta mention another amazing thing has happened tonight, people. Another new member. Yes,
Caprice.
Yes, Caprice. Thank you for becoming a member. Man, I wish I had more thank you videos for you guys, but
they're nice.
I really like this.
very nice. Very nice. But thank you so much, Jacquelina, for supporting the channel on that level. That's what it's all about. You know what, audience, you are doing amazing tonight. It's just fantastic. Hey, let's see if we can go for a third membership out there, audience. Let's see. All right, but amazing. Thank you so much, Jacquelina and Tiana, for the membership. Fantastic. Let's see. Let's get to my prop now. Let's see, where do I want to go with this one? That's the question. All right, let's go with this is a funny one. All right, do you guys remember this prop right here from Wedding Crashers?
oh,
There you go. The painting.
God.
The painting. What is it? He's like one of the sons, right?
the brother.
Yeah, the brother that's just kind of to himself, very introverted, and he draws Vince Vaughn's character, Jeremy. But I love the scene where Jeremy and Owen Wilson, right? Their characters get caught up in their scheme, right? The grandma comes out with the shotgun, ready to take out Jeremy, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna leave." And he's like, "I want the painting back," and he's like, "No, Todd, that was a gift." And he goes out walking with the painting. I just think that's one of the funniest moments. It's like, I'm keeping the painting. That was a gift. I love that movie. Johnny, are you not a fan of Wedding Crashers?
I love Owen Wilson. I have my moments with Vince Vaughn. I think after watching Domestic Disturbance, that one kind of really soured that, and Psycho, especially Psycho.
Oh,
really
I didn't even try that one.
Kind of like turned me a little bit against Vince Vaughn, but he kind of, brought it back up with Dodgeball and especially Anchorman. I have this, no with Vince Vaughn. But don't get me wrong, I love Wedding Crashers. Don't get me wrong, I do.
I love it. Vin, are you a fan of You're a fan of Wedding Crashers, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I just when I first think about Wedding Crashers, I think about that meatloaf scene.
Meatloaf. We need the meatloaf now. Oh, Will Ferrell's perfect in that one. I just love everything in the opening sequence. The music is great. And there's a good romance in that too. Yeah. I like that movie. That's a good story too. Fish, you a Wedding Crashers fan?
I watched it once, and I did have a good time with it. The one time I did watch it, I need to watch it again because there's so many references that people make that I do get some. Like, of course, everybody gets stage 5 clear. That's like one of the most common the quotes in that movie. But yeah, I need to go back and watch it. I did have a good time with it. And another scene that pops in my head is when the brother is in the bedroom and like Vince Vaughn's room, and it's just yeah. I don't know why. I do know why. It's creepy as hell. But anyways,
And then the
but yeah,
mom
I know I
there.
need to go back and check it out.
Oh,
Yeah, we were all introduced to Bradley Cooper thanks to that movie.
Oh yeah, Bradley Cooper is in that one. Yeah.
You could
He looks so
sack-
different now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, let's see. Looking at the comments here real quick. Tiana saying South Park is so good. Oh, Holland, this is a great quote from The Mask. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking. Such a classic. Need to rewatch again.
Yeah.
Jacqueline says, "I'll set the building on fire." I just love how he talks, Milton. And then the ending is so good too. Like he's like talking about the resort place and what it'll do to them too.
That's from my tie.
Larian says, "I agree with Mike. Lost in New York is my go-to." Yeah, so good. And then Tiana saying the painting in Wedding Crashers needs an Oscar. All right. We are now on to our third favorite comedy prop. And we will have, I think, right? We got number 3. Sorry, the order changed a little bit.
Yeah, I think my internet kicked me out for a minute, but yeah.
That's okay. We will work with it. And Vin, how about you start this one up?
All right, so I had this one higher, but I'm going to pull it out now. And
Whip
this
it out,
movie-
Vin. What do we got?
This movie apparently is getting a sequel, and it is Happy Gilmore. And the prop, of course, is going to be Chubb's wooden hand. I mean, tell me a more iconic comedy prop than Chubb's wooden hand. When he first goes to high five it, and he kind of taps it really light. And then the best part is when he knocks it off Chubb's hands into the road, and Chubb said, "Don't worry about that. That's made of wood, real sturdy." And then a truck goes by and smashes it, and he has to pick up all the fingers and he glues it back together.
As he's watching Happy play golf, you see him gluing it together.
Yes. So, I mean, iconic film. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers, and that wooden hand. Come on, man. Alligator. Oh, and he says, what did he say? They wouldn't let me play on the Pro Tour anymore. And Happy Gilmore says, "Oh, I'm sorry, because you're black." And he says, "Hell no, a damn alligator bit my hand off." It's just so good. So the wooden hand coming in number 3.
Man, that's one I haven't seen in a little while. I need to go back and watch that. Especially, I didn't even know there was a sequel coming out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I think Adam said he's like we've written the screenplay for it.
Fish, you like that one?
I do enjoy Happy Gilmore. I watched it for the first time recently. There was a point where I missed out on a lot of early Sandler stuff. So I still haven't seen Billy Madison. Yeah, I know. But like I said, I just watched Happy Gilmore for the first time. I'm sure there's other things I've missed. But things that I have watched were like Wedding Singer, Big Daddy, 50 First Dates. But yeah, I missed some of the earlier Adam Sandler stuff.
Man, I definitely got a couple Adam Sandler movie props lined up. Now that you've mentioned him. Oh, he's so good. But not only his comedy stuff too, I know it's a comedy stream, but his drama work is great too. Uncut Gems. I love that movie. So
Yep, I agree. If you want something far darker that he does a fantastic job in, check out Reign Over Me.
Haven't seen that one.
He plays a man who lost his daughters and his wife in 9/11, and he's just completely broken. And it's a friendship story about him and Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle trying to bring Adam Sandler back around and give him hope in life again. But man, you want to see a depressed Adam Sandler character? Reign Over Me. It's quite good.
I remember seeing the trailer for that now that you talk about it. And yeah, I really wanted to check that out. Definitely. That's going on the list.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, Johnny, what are you thinking?
My number 3 is from Anchorman, and it's Sex Panther. Because we all know 60% of the time it works all the time. I mean, to watch, Paul Rudd, apparently the ageless Paul Rudd, because I don't think he's aged since Clueless to now. I see no wrinkles, no nothing on him. He goes into he's trying to, I guess, bed Veronica, who's played by oh my god, I have lost my train of thought. I cannot remember.
I'm terrible with actresses. I have no idea.
Christina Applegate. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
They're all trying to, I guess, sleep with her, and he has this foolproof plan of being able to bed any woman that he wants, and he's going to break out the Sex Panther cologne. It's made of real panther bits, and as he puts it on, Will Ferrell's like this. It smells like it stings the nostrils. And apparently it is so offensive, he has to be taken outside and be hosed down with his clothes still on. They say it's worse than when the raccoon got caught in the copier. Of all the funny scenes that are in that movie, that's probably most everyone's favorite scene, is when he breaks out the Sex Panther cologne and it just goes horribly wrong. And I remember reading somewhere that someone was actually trying to make a Sex Panther type cologne, but they just didn't get off the ground, thank God.
I love the fact when he opens it, the little head pops up.
You see steam come out and you hear the roar.
Yeah, that movie's funny. I haven't seen that one in a while. Just all the lines in that, right? The dog eats the whole wheel of cheese. I'm not even mad at it. I'm kind of impressed by that. Eat a whole wheel of cheese.
Yeah. Or the dog's barking at him and he says, Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
They both go to bed wearing, I think, braces in their mouth. They have their own PJs.
Yeah, that's a good one. The sequel, I remember being only okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of movies that were comedies got sequels and then nothing.
I liked the fight sequence in the second one. That's probably the only reason.
That was the best moment. Yeah, all the news broadcasters. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome choice. All right, Fish, what are you thinking?
All right, number 3 is another one that I watched a lot, but this was more of an 80s. Tim Burton, Paul Rubens, going with Peewees Big Adventure and his bike. Pee-wee loves his bike. This thing means the world to him. Of course, Francis, his little nemesis, comes over and wants to buy his bike, and Pee-wee, of course, doesn't want to sell his bike. Somebody steals his bike, and he goes on his big adventure trying to find his bike, get his bike back. So he goes cross country, heads to Texas, to the Alamo for the basement, and meets some very interesting characters along his journey. So I really love this bike. It's got a lot of gadgets and a lot of fun things on it. It's almost like a little James Bond little bike there, especially when he gets it back and he starts using all these things. One of my favorites is when at the very beginning where he's pulling the chain out of the side little side. Gosh, I can't even think of a name. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, pulling the chain, wrapping it around the clown, and it's like. But I do love this movie. It's a lot of fun. So I chose Pee-wee's Bike. Peewee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, I just watched this movie for the first time this year when I was doing a Tim Burton stream. And I'm like, how did I miss out on this one? This one is freaking amazing. And Pee-wee Herman can throw down. Like when he goes to that house at the beginning, he like jumps in the pool and is going after. I'm like, oh my God, Pee-wee, calm down. Like I know it's like, it's getting intense here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when he's in the bar on the phone, I'm trying to talk on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
let him
It's so
crack
good. It's
with
so good.
him. Oh gosh. And then like he's going through all the Hollywood sets, and that's really cool. Oh, that movie's great. That's like a love letter to movies right there.
Mhm. We need a 4K of that one.
Yeah, we need a whole like Tim Burton 4K collection. Because I think when I was doing my stream, I'm like, oh, I need to gather these movies now. I'm like, I think these are all on Blu-rays. Where are the 4Ks at? Besides like Batman, you know. Then you a Pee Wee Herman fan?
You know, I've been quiet because I've never seen it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Sorry.
I think
Oh,
I didn't know
man.
about spoilers.
Good one. That's a good one. It's a good I don't it's not rated, is it rated R? I don't think it's rated R, right?
I
It's
think it's
PG,
I
right?
think it's
PG.
PG-13.
PG.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, it's a good family comedy, you know. It's a fun one. That got a sequel too, right? Didn't that get a couple sequels?
Oh, he got a
Uh,
sequel. It's not
yeah.
a direct sequel to this, but it's it's a Pee Wee Herman little Big Top Pee Wee, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed Big Top Pee Wee. A lot of people don't give it a lot of love or hate, actually, but I enjoyed Big Top Pee Wee.
Yeah, I went into it thinking, oh, it's going to be as fun as Big Top or as a Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and it's not as good, but I don't think it's supposed to be. It's just different.
Mm.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. Chris Christopherson and Benicio del Toro's in it.
The Wolfman, yeah, I forgot about that.
All right. So the next prop, we're gonna go with Adam Sandler one because you guys are mentioning some Adam Sandler right here. So I don't know. This actually might be my favorite Adam Sandler comedy, and I know not everybody loves this one, but the Flask here from Little Nicky, of
Nicky.
course. Get in the Flask. I love this movie. This movie's hilarious. But the Flask is the main part of it. He has to capture his like devil brothers in this flask, return them to hell. Because if he doesn't, his dad's gonna disappear. And yeah, terrible things are gonna happen. So I love this movie. Do you guys like Little Nicky out there?
Yeah.
So funny. It is so. Vin, have you seen that one?
Yeah, I have, and it's one that I want to get eventually. I want to get that Scream Factory edition. I haven't picked it up yet. I have the DVD still. I haven't seen it in a long time, but things I remember from that: Henry Winkler, cover him with bees again. You can do it. Popeye's chicken is the shiznit from the Demon.
Yep.
You turned to Coke into Pepsi, things like that. But it's been a long
that
time.
hurts the best. It's like, that tastes like Pepsi.
I live in the South, and I had never heard of Popeye's chicken until I saw Little Nicky. I'm like, really? There is there's such a place called Popeye's Chicken?
There definitely is. Yep.
We got it here.
Yeah, that movie is hilarious.
Kevin Nealon when they put boobs on Kevin Nealon's head.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And Harvey Keitel says, "Ted head, go with my father."
Oh man, I gotta get that Blu-ray.
You gotta get it. Oh, it was on sale at one point. Because I picked it up recently a month or two ago, and it got discounted pretty heavily. So I don't know if it's still going on, but I'm like, yes, I need it. I need this movie. It is endlessly rewatchable. It's so funny. You get Rodney Dangerfield in there. I'm like, amazing comedic legend. But the prop is so like intricately designed. Like you're like, wow, there's some details in this right here.
That looks awesome. I love a good flask.
All right, so let's look at our comments here, and then we'll get into the next round. Let's see. There's some funny ones in there. Well, let's go. Tiana saying, "Happy Gilmore. The wooden hand was through so much, but it's wooden, so it'll be okay. Strong wood."
Wood glue.
Let's see. Jacqueline is saying, "Adding rain on me to the list." There you go. When Farrell says, that doesn't make sense when he's putting on I die every time. That doesn't make sense. Tiana saying, don't want to smell like oh gosh.
We all want to smell like a Sex Panther.
Huck saying, yes, fish. Peewees Bike. Great pick. Jacqueline says, hell yes. Flask is one of mine too. Yeah, that one just popped into my mind because I'm like, oh, you know what, Little Nicky, that's a good comedy. Can I squeeze this movie in to this list somewhere? I'm like, oh, The Flash, that'll be perfect. Let's see. Tiana says we got Popeyes here.
Canada.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go. Yeah, Popeyes seems to be a lot of places. And I know there was like that big competition between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, or like people on social media were like, what's the better chicken sandwich? I don't know. That was like a hot topic for a month. All right. Let's go to now we're on to number 2, second favorite comedy prop. All right, how about let's go Cool Kid Johnny. Let's have you start this one.
My number 2 is the 3D poster from Mallrats. The one that poor Willem Black cannot see the image in. Those of you who haven't seen it, 2 guys, Brody and TS, they're friends. They go to the mall because both of them have been dumped by their significant others. So they go to waste time at the mall, and they see their friend Willem staring at this picture. And they ask him what he's doing. He said, I'm trying to see the sailboat in this picture, but he can't see it. He's been there for days and he still hasn't seen it. So he brought a lunch and a soda, and he's not leaving until he sees this sailboat that everyone's talking about. And TS just looks at it and goes, oh yeah, a sailboat. Like he sees it right off the bat. And it just enrages Willem even more. And he spends the whole movie just staring at this thing. And even children come up and they're noticing this thing. And he just rips into these children. So if you've ever tried to stare at one of these things and not see a picture, you understand what Willem goes through. It's one of the funniest props in that movie. I don't really know what would probably top it. Maybe the blueprints. But yeah, having stared at one of these things before and not seen a picture, I understand what Willem goes through. And I have snapped at people who say, oh, I see it. Even yells at him, says there's no Easter bunny. That's how mad he gets at it.
It's a schooner.
Ha ha ha.
Oh yeah, no, great pick. I was thinking about Mallrats too because it's one of my favorite comedies. But the first one that popped in my head was The Blueprint.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I completely forgot about that picture.
The
yeah,
blueprints change because they keep getting screwed up. So he goes to another blueprint. I'm like, well, this one's constant because it doesn't change, and Willem just gets mad. And then at the very end, if you haven't seen it, they give the little, what happens to them in the future. And he goes, Willem finally sees a sailboat. He's like, really?
Were we supposed to see an image in that as an audience? I'm trying to remember because I haven't seen it too many times.
So I actually, back in the day with my DVD, I paused it on my grandma's largest TV and looked at the photo, and it's not with that. It's not a schooner. It's not a sailboat.
Okay.
It's something different. It's got like circles at the top of it, and then like triangles down at the bottom. Yeah. So
there's no sailboat.
No sailboat.
It lied to us.
Yeah.
You seen that one?
No, that's another blind spot. I want to get that Aero 4K of that one.
Oh, that one's nice. Yeah. Yeah, they had some really cool editions of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my first time watching it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Stan Lee's in this movie. This is fantastic.
The name amongst names.
Must be sleeping in my old age.
All right, Vin, what are you thinking?
I'm going to pull out potentially the largest prop that we're going to be talking about from Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, the animatronic rhino.
Oh, God.
Look at that thing. Come on now. Come on. The animatronic rhino, he says it's getting kind of hot in this rhino. And then the door gets jammed. He can't get out. And then it leads into that iconic scene where he has to burst through the rubber anus of the rhino, first with his fingers, and then he gets his lower jaw caught on the rubber. And eventually he squirms his upper body out. His arms are still trapped. There's children watching, and he squirms his way out and falls like a newborn calf. Fantastic scene. Fantastic scene. Animatronic Rhino number 2.
Fantastic pick. I'm sorry. I'm just reliving that whole scene in my head. Just
oh, and Jim Carrey, the way he plays off when his lower jaw is still caught in the rubber, and he's just like shrieking.
Oh, and the family pulls over. That's what gets me. And they're all like, "Oh, look, wow, nature!" Yeah.
And then they get this horrifically violent human birthing scene.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that's definitely a large prop. I mean, that definitely is the largest prop of tonight for sure.
Look at his face. Just look at that image.
That is dedication right there.
Like, imagine being Jim Carrey, like this, like renowned, celebrated actor, and that image exists with you halfway out of a rubber rhino's asshole.
And it didn't dawn on him at all to say, well, since I can't open the door, maybe I should put my clothes back on
before I try to climb out.
Yeah. And he's grunting as he comes out. And he's making these guttural noises.
Oh yeah, that's a great word. Yes. That's what makes it so fantastic. That's a great word. I love that word, guttural, because that's perfect for how it sounds.
All right, good choices. Fish, what are you thinking?
Okay. My number 2 comes from one of my favorite Christmas movies. It is the leg lamp from A Christmas Story. I love this prop. It's iconic. You know, I mean, they sell it in stores over the holidays. My brother actually got me a wine stopper that has that's it. So, like I said, I love this movie. This prop is fantastic. The dad wins it as a prize for crossword puzzles, I believe. Yes. Anyway, so he gets this prize. Even just that scene where he opens it, fragile. It must be Italian. So and then they get it out, and they just like it's a oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Anyway, so they set it up in the main window. The wife is not very happy about it. I love this, but yeah, I love the scene. It's so good. Ralphie is enamored with this thing. Just but yeah, it's so iconic. But yeah, the leg lamp from A Christmas Story.
It's a good one.
Yeah, who else was choosing that one? I know how to tell somebody. Oh, that one's been chosen.
I had it on there, and I'm like, no, I think someone might get it, so I took it off my.
Oh yeah, Ben had it too. Like everybody was choosing that one. So.
Oh, and then when the mom breaks it accidentally, you've always been jealous of this lamp.
A couple of years ago, me and my wife took the kids to Cleveland, and in Cleveland they actually have a tourist attraction where you can go and see the original Christmas Story house on Cleveland Avenue.
Nice.
And it was pretty cool to kind of walk through the house, and it's like kind of like a guided tour. And then across the street from the house is like a gift shop where they sell like the leg lamps and magnets and all these things. So on my fridge I have a leg lamp magnet. But if you're ever in Cleveland and want to see the house, that's where it is.
Nice.
Now, did they use the house for the sequel?
I don't know.
I believe so. I believe it's the same house.
I haven't seen the sequel.
I enjoyed the sequel.
Max.
Yeah. It's on Max. Since we're physical media collectors, Walmart has it on DVD. So.
I see that every time I go into Walmart. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't seen this one.
I finally picked it up. Give it a shot. Check it out. I enjoyed it. It gave a lot of nostalgia for me because, like I said, I grew up watching it as a kid. But they do have little flashbacks, so I will throw that out there. So it does get you. It does get you in the feels somewhat. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's a fun watch.
Is the lamp in there at all?
I believe so. But yeah, talks about a lot of stuff from the first one, and yeah, so
Yeah.
it brings in the nostalgia. So yeah,
And I think everybody's back except for the mother.
yeah. No, all the kids are back as grown-ups. So all the original kids are back grown up. So that's another thing I enjoyed about it. They actually got all the child actors to come back.
Oh, and they're all grown up. How old are they? Like, how many years later did this come out?
I think they're set in the 70s.
Yeah.
So
it was right after Vietnam War. So.
Oh, well, awesome choice. I know that was a good one because everybody chose it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to break somebody's heart. All right, so next choice for me. I thought this was a fun one. So you gotta have, Robin Williams, great comedic actor, go to one of his favorite movies for me. We're gonna go to Mrs. Doubtfire, The Cake. Hello. Yeah. You gotta have that. You gotta have that right there. The Cake is just, you need it because it makes for such an iconic scene. He's like, I need a face. Where's my, right? His other face falls out the window, gets crushed, run over by a truck. He needs a face, and he's thinking, what do we got? Okay, let's get this cake. And he gets all of, and he looks just like so monstrous with that. Hello, like it's oh, and then when he's doing the coffee, he's like, how many sugar you want? What?
He was melting cone in Phoenix.
Oh gosh, such a fun movie.
The lady takes some of that stuff, starts rubbing it on her face.
And there's your cream, dear. Yes, classic.
Yeah, it's great Robin Williams movie.
Yeah, that's one I'm just growing up. I'd watch that one all the time. So many funny moments in that movie. I could have chose the orange too that he throws. It was a drive-by fruiting. I'm like, I thought about that one too. Such a funny one. But I mean, it deals with really tough subject matter though. But for them to still make a comedy out of it was brilliant. Very good. But good story along with it. I know, Vin, you're a fan of that one, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of what makes that movie so special is that it has its outlandish comedy moments, but it's still grounded in like serious issues, and it has heart, So when a movie has heart and comedy, those are the special ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It makes me crack up the whole time, and then at the end of the movie, I'm sitting there, just tears are running down my face, and yeah, it's so good. Whenever a comedy can take you on a gamut of all your emotions, it's a very well done one. So, and that one's fantastic.
And usually, like, we're all led to believe that most movies like that, it's going to have, the happy ending where, the mother and the father, they get back together, they reconcile. Whereas in this one, they don't. But still.
Yeah, and you felt so bad for Robin Williams' character in that one. It was like he just wants to see his kids. That's all he wants to do. And the mom's like, no, don't watch it over here. It's like, oh man. So bad. I know the mom is like the true villain of that one.
Poor Sally Fields.
I will defend Sally Field to the day I die.
Nope. They're his kids too, damn it.
They're his kids too, exactly.
All right, just try diving back into the comments real quick before we move on. Let's see. Oh, we got Tiana saying, hey, Collector Movie Man. So Collector Movie Man is in here. Hello, hello. We got Magic Hands as well in here. Hello, Magic Hands. Huck saying, oh my gosh, Vin, the rhino. So funny. The noises he's making coming out of the rhino. The funniest thing ever. Yeah, people are loving that rhino one, Vin. You definitely picked a good one. Oh, we got well. Jacqueline saying, I felt like the new Christmas Story was so good. I did cry on and off, but I'm a nostalgia nut. So it was awesome to meet. Jacqueline, you sold me on it. I got to check it out. because I mean, you guys are saying good things about it. So,
Yeah,
and I
it's
usually
really
like
good.
sequels too. I'm pretty easy on sequels. So. Jacqueline says the final speech at the end of the movie where he's answering the child's letter about the divorce chokes me up. Yeah, that's such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I love how he's able to keep the Mrs. Doubtfire character alive, right? By having that the star of the new show, and it all ties together. And that was great.
So good.
All right, let's get into our first favorite comedy prop. And once again, audience, after this, we'll still have honorable mentions. So make sure you stick around for that, of course. And, just a reminder, if you haven't already, go ahead and American Pie that like and subscribe. Whatever that means to you, of course, I love how everybody's face, different expression. Vin has like the grin there. Fish is just busted up laughing. Johnny's like, let me look down for a second.
Yeah.
That's going to be a sticky like button.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyway, Vin, take it away on that note.
Well, on that note, I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for this prop to come up. I wasn't going to put it number one because I wanted to talk about some other things a little bit sooner. But at the end of the day, I chose the pie from American Pie. And I just love the scene. And it only gets a couple minutes of air. Did Fish just leave?
No,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Well, once he saw the visual, it was done. It was done after that.
So the pie, it only gets a couple minutes of screen time in the film, in the runtime of the film. You see the pie, he looks at it, you can see the wheels turning, and then you get that iconic scene with him on top of it doing his thing. And then, of course, Eugene Levy comes in, breaks up the party pooper, But then the scene where they're sitting at the table and his head is down in shame, and you see the pie mangled.
Poor pie.
And the perfect line from Levy, he just says, "We'll just tell your mother that we ate it all." And that's it. What an understanding father figure.
Absolutely.
The
whole run of the series. I still need to watch one more. I haven't seen Reunion, but Eugene Levy in this whole series is so understanding, so there for his son. It's so good.
No judgments, no nothing.
No.
Jim.
Anything to help him along in his journey.
Yep.
Let me tell you, I have two boys myself, and if I ever walked in on my son violating a pie, I don't know how I'd come back from that, quite frankly. We don't bake in my house.
Well, you already know the answer that you're going to give him. Just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Just make sure you wash yourself out real good. You don't want to get particles stuck.
Oh my gosh. And I love one of the scenes before that where he was like, apple pie. It's like warm apple pie, like homemade or McDonald's.
So he's actually thinking about going to McDonald's and getting an apple pie.
You're like, man, I really want an apple pie after this stream.
God, that's like lava.
And then it comes back in a reunion when he's talking to Steffler's mom, right? He's like, he turned it into a crumble in about 2 seconds. So funny. All those movies, all the 4 core American Pie movies.
Yeah.
Great. Fish, you got to see Reunion.
I just recently watched Wedding, and I really enjoyed
I
Wedding.
love Wedding. Wedding is my
was a lot of fun.
favorite. Oh, so good. Did you get the unrated editions, Fish?
I think so. It's in a pack. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they actually add a lot to the Wedding, American Wedding with the unrated one. Yeah. And then it changes up this pie sequence too, right? With the pie and the
and the original theatrical, he's standing up.
Yeah.
And the unrated,
Yeah, I think it was in the special features where it was like, yeah, we couldn't, after so many thrusts, like they would allow only so many thrusts into the pie or something before the rating would change. It was like, oh, let's pull it down. We got to see some more of the. But great choice. That's my go-to raunchy comedy. So, yeah, if you didn't choose that, Vin, I was definitely going for it. So I'm glad you picked that one. All right, Johnny, what do you got for number one?
My number one is my favorite 80s movie, and it is the Proton Pack from Ghostbusters. Like Fish has said, without this, you don't have Ghostbusters because you need something to fight the ghosts with. I love that it's kind of simple just by looking at it. There's nothing intricate about it. They just show up with him. You really don't see Egon. You see Egon tinkering with one of the wands when they're in the firehouse, but it's there. It shows up, and it's so iconic. And it, even as a child, I wanted a proton pack so bad that I would take a backpack in my mother's curling iron and I would stick it in my back and pull it out and pretend I had the proton pack itself. I absolutely love that. That is one of the most iconic props in movie history. And that's it. That's my favorite prop in any comedy film.
Yeah, that's a great choice. I mean, the equipment in that movie really makes the movie, and the jumpsuit so iconic. And that movie, I think we were talking about on another stream, what was made for, it was under like 30 million or something like that. I'm like, such a cheap budget, but they did so much with it, just with all the different equipment, the ghost trap and all that. It's like,
I will give credit to the 2016 one, the one that everybody hates. You do get to see her actually build the proton pack itself. That's what I liked about that one. But yeah, it's just this is the proton pack. I'm sorry. This is the iconic proton pack.
No, it's so perfect, especially when they're standing in the elevator and they're like switching on, and you hear that initial.
You see them move away from each other,
and they all just step back. Yeah, so iconic, perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Vin, you a Ghostbusters fan?
Yeah, for sure. In my mind, I always think about the trap more, where it has like the caution. It's like a yellow and black caution tape on the top, and it opens up, and that's what the ghost gets sucked into. The trap. Yeah, that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's where my mind goes to first when I think about Ghostbusters props. But yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them.
Yeah, Ghostbusters is great. But like you were saying, Johnny, I do actually like the equipment in 2016 as well. So, and actually in the new movies too, all the equipment looks pretty cool. So, but yeah, you're right. The classic one is great. So,
yeah.
But that's definitely what the Ghostbusters movies nailed for sure. Good choice. All right, Fish, what do you got for number one?
Number one, another classic 80s movie that I grew up watching over and over again. Probably should have been watching it now that I'm older and know all the references, but I went with the autopilot from Airplane. Everybody panicked. Nobody can fly the plane. Everybody got sick. The flight crew, passengers, they're going down. So they have to switch on the autopilot to get going in the right direction. And it's fantastic. Not only is he a prop, but he also becomes like a character eventually throughout the movie. He starts to deflate, and Julie Haggerty has to reinflate him, and his little reinflate tube is right there. So when she's blowing him up, and Leslie Nielsen comes in, and he stops, and his head's just Otto's head's just like this, and he stops and just slowly turns around and exits out. And then a couple minutes later, you see them both smoking a cigarette. It's fantastic. It's so good. At the end of the movie, he takes off and he's got his little I guess what a blow up stewardess next to him. Signs off and flies away. But yes, autopilot. I love this. It's so much fun. Just a little fun gag. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen in a while. Yeah. I need to go back and rewatch it. But I do remember him. He was definitely a standout for sure.
And he winks at the camera at the very end.
Vin, have you seen that one?
I think I'm kind of in your boat. I have, but it's been so long.
Been a while, right? Yeah.
That needs a proper release as well. And does that have an accessible Blu-ray?
I think so.
I believe so.
I feel like I heard about.
Oh, I found a steelbook at Walmart. It's on Blu-ray, so I know it's available. But yeah.
And isn't it supposed to also come out to 4K? I felt like I heard a rumor about that a while
It's
back.
possible. I mean, they just released Naked Gun, so they might be rolling through these Zucker Brothers movies. So
I love the artwork, the cover with the plane. It's like in a knot, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just looked it up. It's a $12.99 on Amazon, so accessible for sure. I might have to grab that one.
And then that one had a sequel, right? I never saw the sequel though.
it's okay.
It's on Amazon here too. Airplane and Airplane 2 for $16.92.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's essentially the same story. But I mean, it's funny, but you know, the first one is leaps and bounds better.
Oh yeah, it's like all the comedic notes in the first one hit very well. The timing was perfect. Everybody was, even the kid actors were spot on. You know, so yeah. I say check out the second one. I mean, it's a fun time, but yeah.
I mean, you get Shatner in the second one, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, nice. So you guys, great choices. Great choices, of course. Let's see, where am I gonna go with this one? I know we were talking about some Adam Sandler, so I'm like, I want some more Adam Sandler. So let's go Scuba Steve. You gotta have some Scuba Steve. Because then Adam Sandler dressed up like Scuba Steve.
it's not his fault he can't read.
Scuba Steve.
Oh, Big Daddy, such a fun one. So, Fish, you have seen that one then?
Yes. This is one that I have. Yeah. I really enjoyed this one a lot. Yeah.
This is another good one with like a emotional, heartfelt story too. Adam Sandler has a great character arc in this one. But Scuba Steve, I was like, okay, you got the Scuba Steve doll, and then to relate to the kid, he dresses up like Scuba Steve and gets the costume and everything. I'm like, that's so cool. What a cool thing to do. What do you think of this one, Ben?
That's a great one, like you said, because it has like crazy comedy, but it also has real heart. Like when he's being taken away at the end.
Oh, that's heart-wrenching.
So like it manages to somehow pull your heartstrings as well. But the Scuba Steve, it's so great, like you said, because it is a little doll, but then he makes it life size.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great choice.
Oh, and I remember, Rob Schneider's in that one, right? About the hippopotamus. Why you give him all the easy ones?
Or when he puts him in the sleeper hold and puts him out.
It's like, why does he win? Because I win. Oh, that's great too.
Any cards, different hands. He always wins. Yeah, it's a great one.
All right, let's see. Dive into these comments again. We got, of course, Tiana in here. Everyone, apple pie. Everyone, gotta remember that apple pie. How many pies did they go through? I wonder. I don't remember that in the special features. Like, how many pies did it take to get this shot right here just perfect? They probably went to a bakery one day and just like, we need a lot of apple pies. Okay, why you need so many apple pies? Tiana, those movies are the best. Yeah, they're so good. Ghostbusters. Yeah, I love the Ghostbuster movies. Jacqueline says mine would be 5 Flash from Little Nicky. See, we lined up on that one. The dog van from Dumb and Dumber. Oh, that's iconic too. Yeah.
Mud cuts.
The drawings from Napoleon Dynamite. The bat signal from Batman and Proton Pack from Ghostbusters. I looked at the trap ray. And then Jacqueline, and my honorable mention is the actual Howard the Duck costume and headpiece. Dream piece for me. I don't know how I didn't mention Howard the Duck with, Howard the Duck poster right behind me. I should have. Tiana says, oh, love it. Scuba Steve. Steve says, did anyone mention the gopher from Caddyshack? No gopher mentioned, but that's one that I was thinking about. But nope, didn't get mentioned.
I figured,
Would he be a prop or would he be more of a character? I mean, I know it's animatronic or whatever, but that kind of
That's a good question.
maybe.
I don't know. I said Ted, and Ted became the character. So
yeah.
That's true.
Who knows? All right, let's get into some honorable mentions here. So we're gonna go into some honorable comedy props right now. All right, Vin, what do you got for some honorables?
Well, one is the McLovin ID from Superbad.
You can call me McLovin.
And my son, my older son, actually bought that off the TikTok shop, and I had the exact same. Well, he had the exact same replica ID. Looked exactly like the movie prop. He lost it; it's gone, but you can get it if you want it, which is kind of cool. And the other thing, when I was looking at some of my favorite comedies, is I didn't give you the info on this, Mike, so you don't have a picture. But Pineapple Express, the cross joint from Pineapple Express, I think it's always like a feat of engineering. So the cross joint. Those are my two.
Nice. Yeah, this McLovin one, such a funny lines in that movie. Yeah, either they're gonna, think this is a fake ID, or they're gonna believe you are the Hawaii organ donor McLovin. Like, why did you put a first name? It just says McLovin.
It's either that or Muhammad.
Why would it be between that and Muhammad? Look it up. Muhammad is the most popular name. Like a billion people there.
Read the book.
And he put, like, what was his age on here? He was like 28 or something, huh? Something like 26, something like that. And it's like, why did you just put 21? They're going to be looking for people with 21.
What's funny is the actor who played McLovin and Jonah Hill, actually on set, Jonah Hill hated him, and they didn't like each other. And the director played off that and used it for the film, which was kind of cool.
Just lean into it, boys.
Yeah.
Nice.
Michael Cera's good in that too. You even have Emma Stone's in there. I mean, gosh, you got so many people in that one. Good choice. All right, Johnny.
All right, my two honorable mentions. My first one is the sled from Christmas Vacation, where Clark, he's working on this cooking spray, and you see him cover the bottom of the sled with it, wipe it down, and you know that it's going to just go faster than hell on this, but I don't think he understands how fast it's going to go. And he ends up going through the entire forest, scraping himself across the highway, and winds up in a donation box at Walmart. And Eddie just says, bingo. And then I think the next day or 2 days later, Eddie's out dumping the crapper from his mobile home, and he just picks what's left of the sled up. He looks at it. I think he puts it in the trailer or in the camper with him. I don't know. I can't remember if he puts it in there or not. But that one, it almost made my top 5. But again, you don't see it that much, but it's still a funny scene. And my next one is an even shorter scene, but it's from Step Brothers, where John C. Reilly gets the Hulk hands. And what stands out to me, it's not the fact that he got the Hulk hands and Will Ferrell's complaining that all he got was a wallet. It's the fact that when they're sleepwalking, John C. Reilly apparently has these damn things on. And when the dad tries to wake him up, he starts hitting his dad with the Hulk hands. And you hear the crashing noise that emanates from these hands. And he's going, he's freaking out because he's being woken up. I thought that was so funny that he actually would sleep in these things. And then not just sleep in them, but actually attack his dad with them. I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's another one I haven't seen in a little while. I need to see Step Brothers again.
Same.
All right, Fish.
All right. Well, first off, one of mine is also not in the movie very much, but it is so iconic. It's the piano, the
Oh yes,
life size or the huge piano from Big. Like I said, it's not in there very much, but this scene is so iconic. Him and Robert Loggia playing chopsticks on the piano right in the middle of FAO Schwartz. It's so good. I love Big. It's one of my favorite comedies. But yeah, the piano is awesome. That's such a fun scene. And then my last honorable mention was actually going to be my first pick, but I didn't want to get Mike in trouble. So it's actually the very large joint from Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke, where they first meet, and he's got that really large, huge joint, and they start smoking on it, and yeah, so it's like, what kind is this? It's Labrador. I never smoked Labrador before. He had to follow his dog around because his dog ate his stash. His dog ate his stash, so he had to follow his dog around. So yeah, I eventually rolled into it's huge, massive. And I love the fact that when the album for Up in Smoke came out back in the 70s, they actually had a zigzag paper that huge with the strip and everything, and so you'd roll it and we could smoke it. Yeah, so that would have been my number one, but like I said, it would get Mike in trouble. So it is my number one honorable mention.
Yeah, I remember my dad had that album.
Yeah, that was the big one was a good one too that you added there. I started to think about it. I'm like, oh, no, what was cool in the movie Shazam? They do that big reference with the piano when they're like fighting through the mall. I'm like, oh, that was cool. So the piano is so iconic. It makes cameos in other movies, apparently. Good choice.
And I don't know about you guys, but like when you saw that, I know when I saw it as a kid, I wanted to go to my local mall to see if they actually had one of those giant keyboards. Even though I didn't know how to play, I think it's Heart and Soul. I think that's what they play in Chopsticks.
Yeah.
Wanted to see if I could just jump around on it.
Yeah, that movie had some good props in it because you could even do like the Voltar machine too, right?
Yeah. That was another one I was thinking. Yeah.
All right, and then for my couple honorables here, we'll go with, I guess, a dark comedy, American Psycho, the business card of Patrick Bateman, right? You got just leads to a funny scene in the movie, and even the still book that came out from Lionsgate, kind of played off that. So that was just
very dark, but he gets so upset when he sees the business card that it's hilarious.
Oh yeah. So yeah, just he's in his mind, and they're just like lettering, font, just everything.
Yeah, that movie is funny. I consider it more a comedy than a horror movie. I know some people will be like, "Oh, it's a horror movie." To me, it's more dark comedy than anything because there's so many funny scenes when he's filming himself too. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious! He's just like looking at himself.
One of the ones that gets me is that little walk he does when he's in the raincoat.
Oh
When
yeah, and
the,
they put all the
Huey
music.
Lewis. Yeah. For some reason, I always he's sitting there. He's so passionate when he's talking about Huey Lewis in the news, and he's got that little raincoat on. And he's just doing a little dance. For some reason that always pops in my head whenever I think of it.
Yeah, I mean the movie has kills, but I think you're right, Mike. There's really no horror elements. There's no build up. There's no, as far as horror, what you get from a horror film. It's really not a horror film. It is just a dark comedy with some violence.
All right, and then my last one, we'll go with Real Genius, the popcorn satellite beam thing, and he just fills the house with all that popcorn. I thought that was one of the coolest scenes in that movie. I'm a big popcorn fan. So yeah, shout out Real Genius there. But there's a couple other props in there too. Don't they make a chair float with balloons? I feel like, isn't that Real Genius, or am I thinking something else? I don't know.
I know they turned the dorm room floors into ice.
Oh, yep, that too. Yeah, that's another good one I need to go back and rewatch. But yeah, that's just a young Val Kilmer in that one. Yeah, he's very young. Awesome. But great honorables, everybody. Let's see. Tiana says, I had that ID card, not real, but a fake one. Step Brother or Classic Johnny. All right, so let's just kind of go around. You guys can let the audience out there know where to find you. If you got any projects upcoming you want to share about, we'll definitely do that right now. Vin, what do you got going on?
Well, not a hell of a lot. I enjoy doing lives with people in the community and whatnot. That's kind of the extent of what I've been doing lately. But I think you might see me more once Criterion season gets going again. That's kind of my niche. But I'm active on Instagram more so on Hard Copy Blues, and I still have a YouTube channel, although somewhat inactive right now, but you can check that out as well.
Awesome. Johnny, what do you got going on?
I know I'm on Bob's Blu-rays. I'm going to be on there, I think the 23rd and the 30th of this month, where he's doing his tournaments. I know I'm doing those two. Apparently I have a TikTok, account, but I really haven't posted on there because I don't know what they're going to be doing with that. I am active on Instagram. I have a Letterboxd account, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
And then Fish, what do you got going on?
I actually started doing hunts again, so I got a couple new videos out. Check those out if you'd like. Fish the Film Collector. I'm also active on Instagram. I am actually going to be on Bob's channel tomorrow night, and it's called Think Fast. So come over and watch us all freak out trying to find movies in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I believe on the 18th, I will be joining Ed and Haley on Fans of Something for Rotten Tomatoes card game. So that should be a good time. I believe that's on the 18th of April. So got some stuff coming out with other YouTubers. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's what I've got going on. So thanks, Mike, for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Of course. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Everybody's descriptions are down there. Sorry, everybody's links are in the description below. Audience, go ahead, show them some love. Stop by their channels, all their social media stuff. And yeah, have a great time talking movies with them. As for my channel, once again, thank you, audience. You guys were amazing tonight. So many good comments. I know you guys were American Pieing that like and subscribe, so that was fantastic. We had a couple new members tonight, so that was awesome. Tiana and Jacquelina, that's fantastic. So you guys will see your names appear on the end credits of my videos starting next week, because I have everything already recorded and scheduled to release this week already done. But next week, that's when you guys will see your name. So thank you again for becoming members tonight. Greatly appreciate it. And yeah, just thank you, audience, for everything you do, viewing the videos, having a fun time talking movies with us. That's what it's all about. If you missed my video I posted today in the morning, Just went over some Amazon deals, a lot of good stuff out there on discount. So want to get some 4Ks and Blu-rays for cheap, definitely check that out, of course. And then we'll have a video out every day of the week. We got some great out of theater reactions coming up on the weekend as well. And then, another live stream, tons of stuff. That's why you got to have that notification bell on so you're alerted when a new video posts, of course. But everybody have a great night out there. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.